Last year's Remembrance Day ceremony did include some notable absentees, such as the Queen's son Prince Andrew, who missed the service after stepping back from royal duties. Harry and Meghan were also absent in the wake of the couple having quit the royal family earlier that year. The Duke of Sussex, who served in the army for 10 years and undertook 2 Afghanistan tours, marked Remembrance Sunday in California. Harry and Meghan visited the Los Angeles National Cemetery, where they left flowers on the gravesite of 2 Commonwealth soldiers and placed a wreath at an obelisk. Mr. Morgan unleashed a furious tirade at the couple on ITV's Good Morning Britain after they published pictures of their time at the cemetery on social media and made them available to media outlets. Mr. Morgan said, "What they then do, they go to a military cemetery in Los Angeles and they then invite a photographer, one of their preferred photographers. Remember, they're very privacy-minded, these two. They don't like the press, they don't like photography, unless they're controlling it. And they then release a series of images of themselves at a cemetery, laying flowers, and a wreath and paying tribute. Now, Prince Harry is perfectly entitled as a former member of the armed forces to pay tribute to the armed forces, of course he is." He added, "However, this smacked to me as a really distasteful PR stunt designed to say to the palace, you might try and stop me having my right to have a livery servant lay my wreath, but you're not going to stop me grabbing the PR headlines. And I'm sorry, that sticks in my gullet, this guy is doing no duty." It was reported last year that the Duke of Sussex made a personal request for a wreath to be laid on his behalf at the service in London. Allegedly, Buckingham Palace denied Harry's request. Mr. Morgan's co-anchor at the time, Susanna Reid, was quick to jump to the defense of the Sussexes. She said, "My side of the story is that the armed forces mean a lot to Prince Harry. He served 10 years, he was blocked allegedly from having a wreath in his name placed at the cenotaph. Why wouldn't he want to show his respect when he has such a strong connection to the military?" Mr. Morgan sharply responded, "Why do it with a photographer in an American cemetery?" Ms. Reid said, "Because if you don't do it with a photographer, people don't know that you've done it." Mr. Morgan scoffed and added, "Oh please, do me a favor, you could have just issued a statement saying you're thinking of people." In addition, Philip Schofield shared his thoughts with This Morning viewers on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's use of social media and their battle with the British tabloids. The host, 59, who presents the show alongside Holly Willoughby, 40, said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex played their own game from the very beginning when it came to the media. Phil's comments came after Meghan said she thought tabloid newspapers should include a mental health warning label. The mother of 2 spoke at the New York Times Deal Book Summit on women's equality in the workplace. During her interview, Meghan lashed out at the British tabloids once again. "I would urge you not to read tabloids, because I don't think that's healthy for anyone." She added, "Hopefully one day they'll come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like, 'This is toxic for your mental health.'" Phil wasn't pleased with Meghan Markle's comments when discussing her statement with Camilla Tominey, the associate editor for politics and royals at The Telegraph. After listening to Meghan's comments, Camilla quipped, "Is she including People magazine in that?" when she got her friends to give a defense of how she was being treated in the royal family. The editor went on to defend The Sun and the Daily Mail for their campaign work for the military and the campaign against Stephen Lawrence's killers. The pair discussed Harry and Meghan's decision to put their baby pictures on Instagram as opposed to the normal route of going to the press. This led to Phil calling out the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for playing their own game from the very beginning when it came to interacting with the media. He said, "All we said was, 'Show us the baby. Show us the baby.' And they didn't have to." Camilla responded, "Now they're outside the family, they're not playing by the same rules. You could argue they stopped playing by the same rules in the middle of the whole thing." She added, "Let them say what they want to say, but don't expect it to not receive a right of reply or some degree of contradiction or scrutiny." Camilla went on to say, "They've got a platform of millions, they don't need the tabloids on side." She urged the pair not to use broad-brush generalizations about the media.